Welcome to the sixth episode of the Carry Unplugged Season 2. Today's guest is one of the biggest musical icons coming out of the British Virgin Islands. His name is none other than Eustace Boss Freeman. He's been a trailblazer in music, doing it big in soca and in Calypso. He was a former teacher, he's a husband and a father, and much, much more. Please help me in welcoming Eustace Boss Freeman to the podcast. So, how are we, Mr. Freeman?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing
You're
good.
doing good. You're doing good. So, I ask my guests all this question all the time. Who is Eustace Boss Freeman for people who know you and for people who think that they know you?
Um, Eustace Boss Freeman is a determined, community-minded, self-motivated individual.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, everything I do is based off of putting persons first, thinking community, and just being determined to be able to execute
Makes
whatever the task is, yeah.
Makes sense. Makes sense. A lot of people don't know, but you actually started out doing calypso before you went over into the soca genre.
Right. I do both, yeah.
So you do both.
Yeah.
No. Okay. So, what sparked that, or what ignited you to even do music on a whole?
That was many years ago. I mean, living in a Caribbean household, you hear music all the time. Father, mother play a lot of calypso music, soca music. And I fell in love with the keyboards somewhere in the age of 11, 12 years old. And that's what I started playing first, the instrument keyboards. And then that matured into doing some singing. And then we have bars today.
Got you.
Yeah. So
Got you.
it's just the environment that I grew up in.
Got you.
That's it.
Would you say that you had a what would you say would be your greatest moment in your entire musical career?
That's hard to narrow down. There are a couple of moments that has stuck with me over the years. Capturing with Showtime Band our first road march title with the song "Soca Pledge." That was big. I mean, as youngsters, you set out and you say, "Well, we want to do this," and to finally accomplish that, that was a great accomplishment. And then there was in New York, we went to an award where we won Album of the Year. It's the ISA Awards, International Soca Awards. That was a great moment as well. Also capturing the Calypso Monarch. I think that was in 2017, thereabout.
Wow.
That was another big moment, and of course, being recognized as a VI icon is probably the biggest one so far.
I understand. I understand it. So, what is the origin behind the name Boss?
That's a funny thing. Actually, I got that name from my parents, my mom in particular. And they say he had a show, Dukes of Hazzard, back in the day.
Okay.
And there was a main character called Boss Hog, fat. And when I was young, I was in this style. I was, you know. So that's where the boss came in. And then I, started to own it in the way, my mannerism and how I deal with things. I like to see things going a certain way. And I like to take control, I mean, at the end of the day, that's where the determination comes in. When things start to falter, that leadership quality kicks in.
Definitely
Yeah.
understand it. Definitely understand it. Well, a lot of people don't know, and I myself didn't even know until I did research. But I didn't know you were a teacher. Like, I did not know you were a teacher. Like,
And once a teacher, always a teacher. I have a passion for sports. That's something that I wanted to do at a young age as well. And I started teaching somewhere in the age of 17, 18 years old. So I've been in the civil service for a while. I absolutely love teaching, even though I don't do that currently, because I love being around youngsters, love seeing the development and the growth within individuals. But yeah, teaching something that, if you're interested in that, you should pursue that.
okay. About carry it a little bit way back. This is way before my time. Like, I still trying to. Cause asking all my different guests about it. Like, what was top 7 of 7? Like, what was that? I think that's way before my generation.
That was a great idea. It actually worked as a motivational tool for entertainers like myself and others. That was a show. I think it used to be on Z-Rad back in the day. Craig Lake was the head man for that. And it was just something that, probably the first thing that we had around here where artists, entertainers would be recognized for their work. Because, growing up, you would hear about top 30, top this, top that, but that's American based and so forth. But we had our own thing here in the BVI that we could look forward and aspire to become number one on any given night. So it was a great
Definitely.
something.
Do you feel like the BVI is like lacking in that aspect in any way of like shaping creatives at all?
I think it's doing much better now. I think over the last couple years, I've seen some great efforts as it pertains to, making sure that entertainers have what they need, the resources here and there to be able to go out and further their craft, whether it be music videos, whether it be getting proper recording, whether it be, they had some workshops just the other day where, creatives could come together and learn from other creatives, the do's, the don'ts. So I've seen progress in that area. Of course, there's always room for growth, and I'm just hoping that the consistency continues over the years so that they could have, entertainers and creators even better than myself and others, 'cause every generation is supposed to be a level above the previous generation. Yeah.
Definitely. This more so like I guess you could say, I don't want to say controversial, but in your opinion, did you feel at any moment in your career, like, did you take a step back or did you dip? Like, do you feel like any moment in your career you had that?
Yeah, certainly. I can remember specifically, we had the Showtime, VI Showtime, beef happening when the band split. That was a great time competitively, but at the same time, that was the ages where I was just about to get married, children, family, new job, the different responsibilities that comes along with life. And I know for sure during that time I definitely took a step back, because at one point I owned a studio where I would just record consistently, and then having to share that passion, my passion with my family, that kind of took away from doing that on a large scale. But I'm here. I'm still here breathing. I'm still here going. So, yeah, everything happens for a reason.
Definitely.
Yeah.
We recently saw you with the in Carifesta performing. I think it was a Calypso night.
Yeah.
We also saw you recently on the Uber Soca cruise. Shut down. What you have to say about the Uber Soca?
Hey, listen. I thought that I've seen crazy festivities, but there's nothing that compares to the Uber Soca. That was my first time on the Uber Soca, and I don't think I'm gonna ever miss it again. Yeah, it's that kind of party. The energy is great on the ship. The people are all fetters, and it's just Caribbean people coming together and commuting is a wonderful thing.
So did you spend like the whole duration of the trip on the ship?
Yes, we did. We originally was supposed to board in Miami. I ended up boarding in Bahamas, so I missed one night.
Okay.
But it was a wonderful experience, and we all experienced it here when the Juvie came to the BVI,
true.
and for the remainder of the trip, that's all they talked about,
Wow.
because I think all people were so receptive, the vibes, and of course, the BVI is a beautiful place, and people really enjoy themselves there.
Wow.
The most memorable thing about the cruise for me is, how receptive persons are to the VI music. We have definitely come a long way. We've came from the ages where people would say, like, we don't understand your music, we don't understand, there's too much instruments, to where now it's being played in parties, it's being called on. So, it's a great achievement by, Virgin Island artists altogether.
We definitely have a unique sound that we need to really tap into that, because we could rival big industries.
Yeah, I've seen it this year in the Uber where the most dominant music was the jab music from Grenada, and I think that was the first time in a long time that jab is definitely on the top of the Caribbean music right now.
Wow.
The previous year it was the bouillon music, and then Trini always consistently stay
very consistent
as the mother. But it's growth, and one day we want to see the Virgin Island music be the premier music of the Caribbean, and I think
definitely.
Yeah, we could achieve that.
Because they got a new name for it. I think they call it Bram, right?
I don't really subscribe to the Bram name, but the acronyms are great. I think is what does it mean again?
Bass, rhythm, and melody.
Right. So that's great. Bass, rhythm, and melody. That's us. I as it pertains to the brand, I really thought that they should have some more consultation with more of the creatives before deciding on a name for a genre. But I mean, we have to be identified of something.
True.
So I mean, I applaud those who made the effort to try
Definitely,
to do that.
definitely. I mean, to me, I feel like my only downside with VI music is I feel like, you know, like how we always remix these famous
R&B and
songs
stuff, yeah.
and then turn it into like a little VI soca. I was saying, why somebody don't remix like a Fungi song and then turn it into a soca? Something like, because I mean, Fungi is a part of who he is, you know what I mean?
It is. And as a matter of fact, I'm glad that you brought it up. One of my road match, our road match at Showtime Band was a song called All Aboard. And we made it our business to incorporate Fungi music. So you might want to look that up.
Okay.
You know, what we did was at the beginning of the song, there was all folk music. The guy was like, all aboard, everybody, all aboard, playing his little banjo. And we started the song like that, and we went right into the rhythm start. So people appreciated it, but it needs to be done much more.
I definitely feel that because I feel like the music now when it be the VA and a whole, I feel like everything just similar. Every band playing the same thing, like bam, bam, bam.
Yeah.
Like there is no uniqueness.
And that's one of the Achilles heels of our genre, our music is, you know, I think people need to make a constructive effort to find their identity. I mean, imitation is a form of flattery. So, you know, somebody might like a style or a jam band and they try to imitate that to a T. But what leads to longevity in the business is being unique, like you mentioned, being able to form your identity. That when you hear that, you know that, okay, that's Boss. When you hear that, you know that's Jugu. You know, because of the style. The rhythm are always going to be similar, but in terms of how you go out to perform as an entertainer, as a band, you have to try your best to be unique.
Definitely understand that. When it comes to writing, like how does your writing process look like? 'Cause I personally ain't a writer. I just
well, it got two different ways that it usually occur. My preferred way is actually getting the actual topic first before the beat. And then there's sometimes when you hear a beat and it's like, well, I need to write to this beat and I'm going to just go and scribble until it formulates. But usually when things happen on the fly, it's best. As you know, we do our jams. If you're in a jam, some of my greatest music that I ever produced would have happened in a jam where without in practice, you see something happening. There was a girl, is that your man walking?
Yeah.
That was on the fly. And then, you know, you go back in the lab and then you put it together to make it make more sense as in a story. But it's all about inspiration and where you're at the moment and at the time.
Or what about a recently song you just dropped, Tapping Out? Yeah, no Tapping Out, like something like that. Like how did that come about?
That was just a chant as well. It was a chant for us in terms of just the rhythm had that kind of vibes to it, and it was like, you know, to appeal to the younger group, they like a little slackness, you know. We're gonna keep it real. We on the podcast.
Yeah, man,
right?
keep it real.
So you know, he thought about doing that, and then of course, when you're writing the song, you have to clean it up, and we were able to actually do a music video for that as well. That was well received. All in sync. We saw some bloggers make. I think what's his name? Tricks. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He did something to it, so I mean it's being appreciated.
I mean like that song been on repeat for a while now. Like no
Appreciate
tapping,
that,
no.
appreciate
Yeah.
that.
So you have seen bands, like a lot of bands, and as I say, I have not known a lot of stuff about you until I did my research.
Right.
So I didn't even know you were in a band. Were you in multiple bands or was it just one band?
Multiple band. But the most, for example, when I started with a band called Savage. Way back, I was in high school, and just before I left high school, I joined Showtime, and it's just been Showtime ever since. I've worked with bands like OMG and different bands where I'm just featuring with those bands, but for the most part, Showtime band for many years.
Showtime band. Okay, got you.
Yeah. And I mean, you just brought up something, and that's something that we have to do a better job of. And I'm glad that we're having this opportunity to have this discussion here now, where our history has to be preserved.
It really does.
Yeah,
It
it has to
does.
be preserved. We have to find a way to, all of the entertainers to be able to have a track of their careers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Someone actually gave an idea on the season, one of the podcasts, of having a musical museum
Right.
of all the BVI artists, Fungi, Soca.
That would be awesome.
Look, that's a tourist attraction. It also helps your people to understand
Yes.
the
yes.
different music that came through the territory. I feel like that would be a very
that
good
would be
initiative.
great. That would be great.
Or even just capturing video or film, something.
Yeah, content.
Something.
I mean, I know over the years, I mean, I'm the person that the founder for the Soca Monarch, and I always try to make sure that all that data is there from who won the show from its inception to who is the current reigning monarch. Because many times, I've chaired the Calypso show as well, and the question is, who won in 2025? Who won in 2015? And that information was never readily available. Yeah,
Wow.
so I mean, we have to do a better job of that, and I think we will.
And I think music is a means of preserving culture.
Yes.
Like
yes.
if you look at Elmo Stout, like I literally, like when I interviewed him at the time, like he literally gave me the meaning of most of his songs.
Right.
I hear his song all the time. I'm like, what does it mean? He like Chori Pantel. I'm like, what?
To the what?
I say what? Like, yeah, was it? Okay, I'd ask my guests all this question. I mean, I'd ask my guests this question all the time, and it's something that us Virgin Islands would fight with a lot. We fight with it a lot. It's about a little pastry we like to call tat. You know?
Oh, geez, don't go there.
A little pastry we like to call tat. You know, I rock with you, boss. I rock with you, So, in your opinion, what would you say is the best tat?
Just one.
Just one. It could be a fusion too.
Well, if it's just one for me, it would have to be guava. That's just me. I like guava tart. Not too sweet, but I like guava.
Okay, I'm glad you didn't say guava berry. I could pass with it. Guava berry.
Yeah, that probably don't work. Yeah,
So-
I've heard about guava berries, sour sap. No, those.
Sour sap tat.
No, I don't think those are tarts.
Yeah, that don't sound too nice at all, my son. We could look back earlier this year. We saw you with, as I said, in Carrie Festa getting the musical icon award alongside Jugu.
Right.
And we also saw you performing as well. So what was that experience like for you being called to represent your country?
I mean, that's always a great feeling. That's something everyone should, aspire to be an ambassador for your country. It not only gives you the opportunity to go and experience someplace else, but it gives you the opportunity to go and sell your culture here in the BVI. So it's always a privilege to be called upon to do so. And then, the relationships that you make along the way are priceless. Those are things that
Definitely.
ended up help you in life along the way. So anybody who have that opportunity to be an ambassador of any sort, whether through sports, whether through music, I urge you to take that challenge and go out and do so.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So before we end off of the case, maybe do you have any word of advice for any creative, whether they're doing music, film, fashion, any sort of advice from?
I mean, do it from the heart. Do it from the heart. Continue to strive to where you want to go, and just understand that you have to be persistent. You have to be determined along the way. It's gonna have ups and downs. That's life on a whole, and it's gonna be the same for your career and your creative. But you have to be able to be persistent and determined to get through.
Definitely.
Yeah.
We are here with BOS twice.
Bless.
All right. What's up?